nobody warned me about this part. People love to talk about the highlights freedom gives you. The time, the choices, the idea that you can do whatever you want with your life. But they rarely talk about what it demands from within. The real cost of freedom is that you lose all your excuses and meet yourself completely exposed.
That sounds beautiful and all until you actually live it. So freedom is often sold to you as an escape. Like quit your job, sell your belongings, build a van, travel and heal and do all the crazy banana things you have been thinking about. But freedom doesn't remove pressure. It just relocates it. No one will come and say to you what you're gonna do. No one is going to come to you and say the next step or just what you need to do to come to your desired outcome. And with that, it also means that no one will save you when things go bananas. There's just no structure to lean on, and there's just full responsibility for everything in your life. And that is something I find not many people talk about. How much you actually need to take responsibility for. It's just crazy the times that it have really gone really bad for me and I don't know what to do. And I actually asked for help or secretly, can someone help me? So no one really warned me about all the decisions I have to make every single day. It was a long time ago. I saw this study or something. How many decisions you have to your, in your bank every day, and you have X amount of decisions every day. And after that, you just I can't take more decisions. So what's happening when you overextend and going over all these decisions you have in one day, you get really, really tired. And that's something I can feel every day. All the decisions I have to make. Like where will I sleep today? Where will I throw my trashes today? Just all the small decisions that I have to take every single day that not a lot of other people do. If you have, a normal house, if you have some sort of comfort, some people might think it's, oh, but it's such a luxury. I love travel. I love to see all the new things. Of course, I do too. But when you're constantly on the move, it's super tiring. After a while, it takes on your nervous system and it takes on everything that you do. And no one tells me when I should rest or whatever I should do, because I'm just choosing everything. It can be, sometimes I can be so jealous of people, like they don't need to think. They just go to their work and just do what they're told and just go in the same will. And there is also one thing that I've seen in so many people that I have met. Like the first season or time you are away, for instance, with van life, I have noticed that there is, of course, a lot of excitement and people can really do several months of living like this. But after some time, if you go out on the second year, third year, and so on, if you don't have a purpose, I've seen people get very depressed because they don't really know what they're doing with their lives and with their days. Back in 2018, I read a book named Man's Search for Meaning. Frankel E. something, his name is. That was such an eye-opener. And what I took the most from that book, I was actually in a very like kind of depressed state back then, and it completely shifted my perspective in how I was thinking about going to this work this summer. So what I took from that book was that he said that you create your own meaning, and he was referring to the people that were in concentration camps back in the old Nazi times. And he said that you can really see on a person when they lose their meaning of life. And most of the people tried to have some sort of meaning, like showing up for other people. And he was delivering food to others and making the food as tasty as possible or wherever, something like that. And when people just lose it, they just lay down and die after a few days. They could really like count the day when people don't have a meaning anymore. So what I took with me to that summer was that I needed to create my meaning. And my meaning was to go to the work every single day that summer. I was driving this little delivery car. So I would go out to all the mechanics all around in the area in Westeros, in my town. So I would deliver all the spare parts to the mechanics. And my mission was to get all the mechanics to laugh once a day. That was my mission every single day. And it just fired me up. And I remember in coming back to the store and like, yeah, I got this grumpy old man to laugh today. Do you understand? And that was just my mission, that I would just go out and make them laugh. I was just goofing around and just trying to get them to laugh. I was like flirting with them and just trying to be the most funny or goofiest or whatever girl I could be. So what I want to have said with that is that you need to find your own meaning with your days and with your life. And what's happening when you're leaving your normal life and searching for freedom is that you're not just leaving the comfort and a system, you're also leaving a belonging. And on this new path you need to find a new belonging and a new mission on and the purpose on why you do what you do. Otherwise, I've seen how you can end up in a very, very dark place. And there's another thing when you leave the comfort and you leave everything, is that you won't have your job title anymore. No one will stand there and cheer on you and let you know that you have been doing a good work. You need to be that yourself. You need to be for yourself and cheering yourself up, solving your own problems. There's just so much that goes into going on this path that not really a lot of people understand. I would summarize it to say that freedom leaves you naked with no labels at all. And you have to, you're going to be forced to meet yourself. Hello there, darling. Hello there. Did you come here? Did you wake up? Bye-bye. So freedom didn't make my life easier, for sure not. But it made me way more, honest with myself, holding myself in the most, you know, scariest part of my life, so to say, when I'm all alone and sitting with all my feelings, sitting with everything, but opening up to new people, seeing myself and other people in a new way, also seeing my own flaws and seeing where I can be better, what can I develop to become the best version of myself, and what kind of traumas do I need to heal. So something to think about is If you feel tired, why do you feel tired? Is it because you're working too much? Or is this just simply because you are living out of alignment with what you want and what you are feeling that your life should be all about? You know, it's time to ask yourself, what would you lose if you chose freedom? And one big part of that is, what do you need to stop lying about to be able to choose freedom? For me, for instance, it was my marriage, that I was in a marriage that was not in line with me and was not right for me. It was abusive, it was toxic. And when I stopped lying about that and, you know, seeing what it was for what it was, so I for sure needed to sacrifice a lot of things, my ego, my pride, my things that I have said that I'm gonna do or how I'm gonna live my life. And I needed to disappoint a lot of people around me when I started to see that my freedom is more important than this whole circus that I had to, you know, build up my life around. I'm not here to sell you freedom. I'm simply here just because I want to tell the truth about the costs. Because if you choose it consciously, it can be worth everything.